morning, good afternoon, and good evening to my fellow chingus. Welcome to the 4th episode of Chimaek Hangout, where we discover and discuss on fresh K-pop goodness from music to foods. This show is recorded on, basically, after the last podcast actually. Yikes! You're with me, Zaito, and Lucas.
I am back.
You are back, but we just finished one episode, what the heck.
Yeah.
Anyway, before I forget, do check out Chimaek Hangout on our podcast channels, which is Anchor, Spotify, and possible your other favorite podcast platforms, which are coming soon. All links are available in the descriptions, and not to forget, do subscribe to our YouTube channel. This will be the second episode which is uploaded freshly onto there. So do enjoy what we're coming up with. And for you guys, just for information, this week will be a short episode as Lucas is having some celebration with Hari Raya. For me, I'm just taking a break for fun. Moving on, Lucas, what's for today?
So the main topic of today is we're going to continue on the Twice Seize the Light episode 5, and we're going to listen to our first question of our podcast. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so without further ado, moving on into Twice Seize the Light episode 5. As once more, just a promotion, this documentary is very, very interesting. Although sometimes our explanation, if you listen to our last podcast, may be a little bit bored, but we try to make it fun in a way we can. So for these episodes, it is a long-awaited world tour concert has already begun. So
Oh my God.
in this, yes,
No, it's just I was just reacting to your concert. I am so sorry because I have never been to a concert. So yeah.
you will soon. Once this pandemic is over, you will be able to go for a tour concert soon. Not to forget that,
I hope so.
hopefully. And talking about this, we can't forget that they do feel the stress and what drives them to not giving up. So this is something related to what we discussed during the last episode. So if you have a chance, give a listen to it, what we actually talk about. And this is related to day 6 as well. If you like day 6, do check out our last episodes. Moving into it, we do see them rehearse and actually do some dressing to prepare for the world tour concerts. So to Lucas,
Yes.
if you see this kind of happening, and I put it in much more simple term, as the title, breathless but unstoppable. Have you ever have that kind of feeling?
Not in concerts. Music videos, yes.
Music videos, yes.
Yeah.
But how about as yourself, as a K-pop fan who already maybe been through to a fan meeting, what do you think?
Oh yeah. That is
Is there and along the time anywhere that you feel this way?
breathless and unstoppable, yes. And the loss of my voice for the day.
The loss of your voice. Okay, I can't deny that. To any guys of you who are a screamer inside concerts, you lost your voice after the fan meeting, after the concerts. And before we get into the content of this episode, just a reminder, spoiler alert to anyone who are listening. If you haven't watched episode 5, it is already released for public. It's not anymore a premium, that is. So do watch after you listen to us, that is. I mentioned just now, you said breathless and unstoppable with your voice missing. Then I will say it another way. Have you ever felt it in emotion wise? It means like tears coming out, you suddenly lose control of your mental.
No tears coming out. It's just pure screaming and say, oh my god, she's here. That's all.
So for me, I will say that I have tears coming out, a tears of happiness to be precise. And that time was my first time actually going to a Twice concert, getting a VIP ticket with my hard-earned money, basically just in front of me, I cry. Tears coming out without me knowing. I say, what the heck? What the hell? I have tears coming out for no reason.
You
What?
talk to me about that.
If you can relate to me, I give you a thumbs up. Although you can't see it, a thumbs up for you. But if you can't relate, then you must be some of the other kind of K-pop fans. Maybe you're the screamer like Lucas that is.
Oh, I'm a screamer, but I don't scream like. Plus, when I was in the fan meeting, it was kind of misleading because whenever they point, whenever you think they point at you, they're not actually pointing at you. They're like, this guy, me. No, oh my god. So yeah, it's not me. So
Then in that case, we need to actually proceed to what we can see inside actually on the concert itself. So during the concerts, as how usually we will always say in the real life as well, practice make perfect. Why I'm saying this is because even in the process of the concert, every countries have a different routine. So they need to practice every single time for every performance. So to put it simple, change practice followed by a run through followed by actual concert. What we call a run through is actually, if you watch the documentary, it is a real life practice on the stage, and they can do this up to 2 to 3 times. It depends on how they do it, with dress, without dress, and how they want to actually do the routine of the walking and a lot of things. So do watch. This episode is quite a short episode, but it packs a lot of things inside. What do you think about this episode, Lucas? Anything addition to add in that I miss out?
I think you've quite listed everything, because like you say, there's not much of a thing in this episode 5 that I need to explain more.
Okay, but what I can actually say in a much more emotion wise is, too bad the girls can't actually watch their own performance live. How I wish our world digital hologram works as how it should. A real life, they can sit there and watch themselves. That would be a nice thing to see, because although they may see themselves making mistakes, but the performance as a fan is a whole new different thing. What do you think, Lucas? If hologram do exist and concert hologram does exist, will you go?
Hasn't that been happening in Japan?
In Japan, but I'm saying as in for K-pop, nowadays hologram is still on a screen. I'm talking about 3D hologram, which is actually displaying from the top to bottom, that create a human being that looks very real. Will you go? Although it may cost you a lot.
Of course, I would.
Of course.
Yeah,
Say no more.
It's a new experience if you think about it.
Same for me. I will say if that happens, I will go. And I will say once more is, it is not a far future, as SM actually are doing something about that. If you have already dig through the articles that have been released, you will see some articles talking about this regards to a building of SM, which is trying to develop into something that I'm talking about currently.
Oh, okay.
So do search around. We may discuss about that in the near future. And lastly, for this portion, I know, pretty short, right?
It is pretty short.
This last thing is pretty much what Twice have been saying since the day they debuted. Twice is here is because of wants, is because of fans. So now they're able to go global is also because of fans. Which group that do not say this? I don't think so there's any group that do not say this.
Yeah, it's true.
With this short explanation, although it is short, well, this is one of the one that I can do the simplest for you to actually listen to, and the rest is up to you to enjoy watching the documentary. Once more, I'm promoting like a dum-dum, but it's fun.
He's promoting it like hell, I don't know.
A once forever.
A one forever, but a so one for eternity.
I won't deny that. He's saying the truth. Oh, that rhymes very well.
Yes.
Okay, so with that, episode 5 we will end here. Episode 5 will end it here, and we'll move on to our next part. And just for information once more, this is a short episode, so do listen to it casually, and let's move to our first voice message with a question from someone of our listeners, that is.
Yeah.
Okay, let's listen to it.
Hey Zaito and Lucas, congratulations on your new podcast. I can't wait to hear more. I'd like to ask a question for you guys to talk about on the radio show. I was wondering what you thought of the current regime of K-pop groups and fans or stans or whatever you want to call them here on the show. I'd like to hear your thoughts about them. Again, congratulations on creating a new podcast on your own. You guys are freaking awesome. I can't wait to hear more from you guys. And yeah, stay safe, good luck, and have a ton of fun.
Regime of K-pop groups and fans. I think that's pretty much what he's asking, right?
Yeah, that's what he's asking about the regiments of the K-pop and the
K-pop
fans
groups.
itself.
Okay, in terms of this, but before we go into that, doesn't this person sound very familiar?
Yeah, he does sound very, 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 very familiar.
Too familiar, right? I wonder who this is.
Too familiar to be ignored.
Yeah, too familiar to be ignored. It sounds like our old boss for some reason.
Yeah, it does. It does sound like a old one.
Whoa, it's been a long time since I called this person a boss. To any of you guys who don't understand, basically won't understand, I'll just explain it a little bit. Before we start this podcast, a year ago, we are under basically a small group of online radio live DJs for K-pop, and we have someone who we call a boss, a leader in that group. He goes by the name Yuki, or should I say DJ Yuki. We call him boss for fun. And currently now he is starting his own podcast, which is called Kingdom Podcast. I will put the link in the description later on. If you have a chance, or maybe in the future he's releasing it on Anchor itself, well, you can get a reminder. So I'll put his Anchor links in the description, so do look forward to it. Let's move into his questions. Regimes of K-pop groups and fans. So basically the structures of the present day's K-pop groups.
What do you think? Okay, firstly of the K-pop groups first. We're not talking about the fans.
Okay, for K-pop group, then I'll just include the company in it as well as addition.
Okay.
So in the K-pop group, currently the structure of K-pop group, I will only say one thing. This is what I look in the present as of current now. It is going very, very wild. Because imagine this. I'll just take Super Junior, who started with 12 people long time ago, which is thought to be a failure, but have really grown and bloomed into something unstoppable as of present day. Although they have already have members leaving and members who are already doing their own things. However, in the present, we have girl groups and boy groups with that big amount of people, which I can say is insane. I'll say another thing. All members' roles are pretty much messed up like hell. The role as what we used to think. Although we think that the group have a main singer, we have a lead singer, we have a main dancer, lead dancer. I don't know what you want to call in the group. If you have this much of people, along the lines between all these roles has already become very, very fine and shallow. Even in small groups are showing this kind of symptom already. I sound like a doctor suddenly. Anyway, because of this, I'm thinking, I'll take example like G-Friend, Twice, IZ*ONE. These three groups are from small to big. They are the groups that actually, I would say in the present day, play a better role in showing each person's role in the group. As a leader, as a main singer, as a lead singer, they do show all of it. But in IZ*ONE's wise, I think Lucas will explain more later on. I will see that some of it is clashing, that it's hard to differentiate because some of the group members have two roles, which sometimes one is better than the other. And when we have variety shows and everything, giving them a chance to show, they are not able to show who they are or what they are capable of. So, Lucas, would you like to take over from here?
Okay, if you're talking about IZ*ONE, I don't know, man. I think they're a unique group because they have this 2 years contract. But yes, I agree with you that nowadays the K-pop regimen or the regime of the K-pop nowadays is quite different than what we used to know. I would like to add that it's kind of confusing for me. Like, who's this and who's that and who should be this and who should be that, because everybody is like that. I mean, for me. But if you're talking about IZ*ONE, I don't know, they're just close to my heart. I just love the 12 of them. I don't care what if you're talking about IZ*ONE itself. It's like it reignited the love of SNSD inside of me, because I want to take care of them like how I took care, not really took care. I didn't take care of SNSD, but I want to take care of them emotionally, like how I took care of SNSD back in the day. Yeah, being protective and stuff. Yeah, as you all know about IZ*ONE's cases.
Okay. So, with what you say that, I can agree much with it. However, what I can see here, although now it's different, but to any of guys who are much newer listener to K-pop, or you just got into K-pop in the present few years, in the old times, roles are very, very important because we do not have a thing that's called YouTube, and we do not have a thing that's called personal fan cam.
Yeah, we do not have that back in the day.
Yes. Roles and coordination of the group are what actually make them stand out from one another. In the present day, you have your own personal fan cam. Why the hell do you need to have a role? The role is just basically for fun.
Yeah, it's true. It's kind of funny, or it's kind of how do you call it? How do you say it in English? Oh my gosh, why is my English so bad right now? It's kind of, it suits because of the personal fan cams nowadays, so that you get to see your own bias dancing thanks to the people who videotaped it. I mean, that's for me. I don't know for you, Zaito.
For me, basically nowadays I can say roles are not playing the role they are as how we used to think, and pretty much that is okay. Although I complain so much, but in the present day with what we have and what material that's showing to us to promote them, I tell you, it's actually much better than last time where we have like freaking nicknames.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, we have freaking nicknames for every single member.
but we do not give them the nicknames. They gave it to themselves.
Correct. So nowadays it's the nickname that we gave to them, that if they like, they will continue to use it. However, long time ago, nicknames, basically their initial nicknames, are the one they created themselves. The most famous example I can give is Tiffany's.
Oh yeah.
Oh, what was it again? I think it goes along, because of her wrong spelling, it goes along mushroom, right? In the beginning.
Mushroom. Yeah, I remembered the day when people used to tease her, calling her mushroom.
Then after that, when her pronunciation got better, it turned into what the actual meaning is. What? Pancha Jewel Tiffany? Is it something like that, if I remember correctly?
Along the lines, maybe oh my gosh, how can we forget this?
Sorry, Tiffany! It's been so long! Aiko! Seriously. Just a moment. Let me just search for it. While Lucas, do you have anything to add on to what you're saying just now? Or basically, how about on the fan side? What do you think about it?
I don't really have much to comment about the fan side, because me myself, I don't really go to concerts. The only concert I've been to it's not really a concert, it's just a fan meeting. That's all. I don't know what the regimen is for the fans during a concert, but I know that they have this event, that separate event in every country that they will do during the concert. That's all I know. Honestly, I do not know much about concert or the fans itself. Or maybe if you're talking about buying albums as a fan, maybe now it's easier because back in the day you need to buy the physical album. Nowadays you don't need to buy the physical album. You just download it, and shoot, it's under the voting.
As easy as that. And before I get into my thoughts about the fan portion, I would just like to say it is brighter than Jewel Tiffany. That's the correct stage name, or should I say in Korean is Pusok Poda Binaon Tiffany. I think I messed up the last part. But because of her wrong spelling, then it becomes brighter than Mushroom Tiffany. If I remember correctly, it's around like that.
Okay.
So, let's get back into the track of the topic. For the fan side and how you said for the album and concert side, these three it is linked correctly. I would say it's linked. But for fans, I'll separate it into two groups: K fans and international fans, because these two groups have already make pretty much a lot of difference. With the present digital world, with the present internet and social medias, K fans are one of the most supportive, sussing, and lastly, negative. Or should I say toxic in a way. These three terms are more of the categories that we can see nowadays, mostly from most Korean fans, from any group that is. While for international, I won't deny that we do have these three groups in there somewhere. It won't run away. However, it is much more like a community from what I can see and from what I already experienced when joining into a fandom. That is still toxic from time to time, but it is not as serious as how we can actually see in articles happening from all kinds of places when it comes to Korean fans in the present day.
Yeah, it's true. You kind of get me there because I think we still do have toxic fans nowadays, but I think it's the same. The intensity is the same.
And with what you say, you just remind me. Nowadays, I'll just add on the level of between K fans and international fans are almost on the same level in every category that have been mentioned earlier. Why I'm saying this? Because in international fans, you have sussing fans, and one of the most famous one, we can't deny, and I'll just say again, the name start with J and end with a H. And if I remember correctly, it is 1994. If you know who I'm saying, I'm so tired of this person.
Do not say anymore.
And I can tell you one thing, this person can even win a Korean sussing fan who is local in Korea in all levels.
Wow.
Because so far we know sussing fans, although they have already surpassed the limit they're supposed to, they still set themselves to a certain limit to not disturb the life of idols to the extreme. Although the extreme that we are saying about is getting close or doing something that they shouldn't do physically to the idols, so far we do not see that much for Korean sussing fans. We do see them, they break into the dome and just to steal underwear, if I'm not mistaken. That's one of the famous one, I guess.
That was, I think, that happened 6-7 years ago. When I think
even the present.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. Because the
BTS, Lucas.
Oh
BTS.
yeah, BTS.
Yes.
Because the only group I know that sussing fans has done all this is with EXO.
Super Junior is the oldest. We have EXO, correct. We even have FT Island. And you want to see the recent one? I think it's BTS. BTS have the hardest one, to be seriously. They have the hardest time because from what we know, BTS Dome is separated into 2 houses, if I remember correctly. If they haven't moved yet, that is. So, yeah, wow.
It's so I can't explain it with words, man.
But on the positive sides, for the K-pop group, the entertainment group, and the fans, I can say that they have already improved a lot. And they are much more open to more things between the relationship of the company, the idol group, and the fans. The easiest way you can see as of currently now, is Big Hit Entertainment, which BTS is in, as well as JYP Entertainment. Why I say these two groups is because they take their mental health and their mental educations very, very seriously. But I'm most impressed is actually on how JYP first handled the whole situation of Mina. Then Big Hit Entertainment take that example and thoroughly implement it within just like 1-2 months time. I'm very impressed with Big Hit Entertainment on that point. While I would say for SM Entertainment, they do have the education since a long time ago. We do hear from once a while from the variety show of the idols from SM, but results wise, I don't see, so I can't say much on that. Do you see any results from SM regarding to this topic?
Actually, if you're talking about mental breakdown or mental educate, basically about the topic that you're talking about, I don't really see it in SM.
Mhm.
I don't really see them doing
Mhm.
as much as what JYP is doing. Yeah, that I don't really see it. But like you say, I'm also quite impressed with how JYP handled it, and he doesn't force the idol to do any activities. Yeah, to do any activities during the time that she's under this mental breakdown or anxiety problem.
And not to forget, after what happened to Mina, we have another group inside JYP that's facing the same issue, but on an earlier stage, which was taken care very, very quickly and properly, which we mentioned during our last episode in episode 4. So if you're wondering who that is or what we're talking about or what did we discuss, check out the last episode. I think last episode, the first part is very fun, right, Lucas?
It is.
Okay, so you're saying, Lucas, just now that the group itself, you are very impressed with them, and what you want to add on that?
What did I always ramble. I always ramble things, and I don't remember where I stopped. That's the thing. Okay. What do you remember where I stopped?
You stopped saying that basically you're impressed with JYP Entertainment of handling Mina's situation.
Oh, okay. Whereas if you see other companies, you don't really see them doing all this, because if you remembered, Super Junior had the same situation where I think one of the member was sick,
Correct.
and he was forced to do an IV drop and continue with the concert itself.
When you mention on that terms, then I remember another thing. This pretty much from what I can see so far, only about 2-3 companies are willing to take this step, which is to let the idols take a break within the promotion period. The two most I can see as of currently now is JYP Entertainment as a whole, as well as Girlfriends or G-Friends, their company, and lastly will be a company that have long time haven't been heard, which is Girls' Day's company.
Oh yeah.
These 3 companies are willing to take a step back whenever the members of the group actually fell sick, or either they are not feeling very well to a stage where they can't perform. And one of the biggest examples is actually Girls' Day, because Girls' Day is actually the pioneer that have faced this problem due to Harry, right?
Mm-hmm.
Due to that issue, the company took this step as a way to let the girls rest inside Girls' Day to avoid this issue to happen in the future. As you know, this kind of thing happen, fans will go crazy, fans will start babbling about stuff negative about company, which cannot really be blamed 100% on them. Sometimes it's because idols want to continue to work. As of currently now, with this procedure in it, then the fans, or should I say the idols and the fans, have a clear line where to stop.
Ooh. Talking about all this, it's a bit, it takes a toll on people.
Hmm.
Being whether you being a fan or whether you are the idol yourself, it'll be like, oh, when is she coming back? You're so worried, and the idol would be like, I want to come back, but I can't because I have this anxiety problem and I can't face you all. I want to face you, but I can't face you for now. please understand that. But somehow or other, the fans don't understand that.
For now, shall we end our topic on this portion? Because I don't think we want to go any more deeper because we're going into the dark zone actually.
If we were to be going there, it will be non-stop.
Yup. If you want to go dark zone, I suggest that we will make another short episode like this in the future, maybe next month. Because to let you guys know, the routine that we have for our show is actually 3 long episodes and 1 short episodes. Basically, the short episodes is whenever we want to take a break. To be honest with you guys.
Yeah, because it's been taxing.
Yeah, it's been taxing, especially for both of us with work. So hopefully you guys don't mind with this and keep supporting us. And hopefully you enjoy this short rambling of ours regarding to the message question given to us by Kingdom Podcast. Ending speech, like always, Lucas, since last episode you said you do not have anything to say, I shall give you the honor to give the outro.
Okay. Now you're putting me on the spot.
What?
Okay, so I'm sorry. So my advice to you guys is, if you have a mental breakdown or you have anxiety, make sure you have somebody to talk to and somebody that understands you, that can help you throughout, because it's going to help you along the way. That's all. Good.
That's all. I'll just say as much as how I usually say, be excited, challenge yourself. Do not let these kind of things come into your mental. It's because who you are and who you will be is everything that you decide. It's because everything that counts can't be counted, and everything that's really can be truly counts is not everything at all. And with that, just remember, if you're a fan, support your group, support the entertainment company, but never ever go over to the dark side.
Please support healthily.
Yes, please support healthily. With that, I will just give a short teaser. As it is already the first week of June, let's just say you can look forward to an unboxing video of Twice's new album. And pretty much along the line, Twice is coming back. So prepare for us to actually spaz off like no tomorrow.
Ooh.
Oh, alright. So with that, ending our podcast for today, although it's quite short. What do we say usually, Lucas?
Annyeong.
Annyeong, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Hello, Chinkus. Before we go, do drop us a like and subscribe if you're listening from YouTube. And follow us on our social media for the next episode. Thank you for listening. Annyeong.